Hold that bottle up. Hold that bottle up. So Sara is drinking Perrier, Peru, some of that French water.
So fancy.
Fancy water. Now, the reason Sarah's drinking Perrier is because Glenn is gone for the summer, right? He goes to his regions unknown, to the ranch. And so they just stopped stocking things around here. No water.
I just wanted regular water.
Yeah.
There is none.
The only thing left is the crap that Glenn drinks.
It's Glenn's Perrier.
Perrier.
So
Nobody
said,
else drinks that.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah.
You leave, I don't get my water, I'll just take yours.
Yeah, which I didn't even know we had Perrier. I guess it's in the kitchen, right? It's not down there with where the peons, the peasants, go to get their water.
Right.
And their bag of nuts.
You wouldn't want the peasants to drink Perrier.
I always forget that he has Perrier in here because that would mix very well with my tequila.
It would, actually.
Yeah, it makes a solid tequila soda, which sort of makes me want to go do that at the break.
I do have enough in here.
Well, I don't have a glass.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah. Or a funnel.
Anyway, how have you been?
I'm
First
good.
of all, haven't seen you in a dog's age.
I know. Could you listen? I'm going to request that you not go on vacation anymore.
Okay.
I don't appreciate that. It's not the same around here without you.
I'm not a vacationer, right?
Yeah, I'm not either.
I was ready to get back.
Yeah.
I had a good time, but I'm not a vacationer.
Right.
I like to do what I do every day.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's
Right.
my vibe.
Me too.
That's why I do it. And, you got to, and I think I got a bad taste in my mouth back when I was in my early 20s because my first big job that I had, I was running something and had a business, a nonprofit, and all these things. And I went on vacation, and the board of directors kind of rebelled against me. There was one bad Judas Iscariot in there who kind of tried to, while I was on vacation, try to turn the board of directors against me.
No.
Told a bunch of lies. And I came back to just a crap storm. And
Wow.
so now I hate to take my hands off of anything.
Right.
Because I don't know what I'm coming back to. And I think that scarred me.
Yeah, you have PTSD from that.
I do. And so now it was really traumatic too. It was a bad deal. And there were millions of dollars involved in this organization. It was bad. And so I don't like taking my hands off of things.
I can understand
So that's why when people say, hey, man, you're on vacation, you should just leave things alone. Yeah, no, that's stressful for me. So I'll still check the emails.
Well, also in our line of work, it's nothing else stops. So unless I'm keeping up with things, I'm going to be totally lost when I get back. And it's going to take me way longer to catch up than if I would just stay a little bit dialed in while I'm gone on vacation.
Yeah. And we did work. CJ and I both, we worked quite a bit. We finally, we've always shopped with this particular company. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I don't go to Walmart. I don't go to Target. I don't, for years, I just don't do that. I try to find a local grocery store to get my basic groceries. But, I put that video out a couple of weeks ago about how I avoid the box store and we buy from privately owned, conservative valued company that we buy, all of our stuff that they make, and they don't have stores. You buy it, you shop online, and you don't have to pay for the advertisers and the retailers and the marketing and the employees and the buildings and all of this. So your dollar goes further. And so I made that video. I finally made a video and said, this is where I shop and this is what I do. And if you want to know, send me a private message. And 2,000 private messages showed up. The ones who could send me a private message, and that's just on one Facebook page, 2,000 messages came in. And a lot of people saying, I can't DM you because Facebook makes it where some people can't DM you. It's weird. They don't even give you the option to be able to send you a message. It's a weird censorship that Facebook does. But anyway, we spent the whole week responding to DMs. And when I say we, CJ and I, CJ responded to a lot of them. We were like, oh gosh, these people, we're trying to help them sign up for this deal. And it's sort of like joining a Sam's Club or a Costco. You pay $1 for a year and you're a member.
Oh, wow.
And then you can shop on their deal. But the key is you got to shop. You got to buy stuff from them. It keeps your enrollment in good standing and stuff. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good. I mean, I'm glad to get people hooked up and connected with this whole deal. And anyway, more people will watch this and they'll start sending me messages. Hey, what's the deal? I'm like, We'll get to you.
Yeah.
We'll get to you. But anyway, certain advertising policies, that's why I'm not going into it on the show. But wow, the reach of social media.
Yes.
It makes it very hard to vacation.
Yeah, it does. Well, smartphones at all make it very hard to vacation.
And I don't know that I want to disconnect. Yeah. I don't know that I do.
Yeah.
I'm wired a little different. I like being in tune.
Me too.
I like knowing what's up.
I'm going to be gone in a couple weeks here.
I don't know.
Well, it's payback because you left me. Now I get to leave you. And I am not going to completely unplug. I'm going to be honest with you.
No.
It's not possible for me. We're taking the kids to Universal.
I'm out. I'm out. I was like, I'll crash the party, but I'm out.
It's not going to be a relaxing beach vacation like you experienced. It's definitely not going to be relaxing at all.
Yeah. So I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, the last 2 weeks of August.
Okay.
With Based Records. We'll be in the recording studio. We're going to bang out 6 killer songs that are just amazing. I'm so excited about.
So exciting.
I mean, actually, we were like, okay, what 6 songs are we going to put on this EP, on this album? And Chris Wallen and I, we sat down, we talked with some others, we wrote these songs, and next thing you know, like we got like 10 songs that we're trying to figure out, what do you keep?
Yeah.
And what do you put away? So I'll be taping from Jason Whitlock's studio.
Oh, great.
In Nashville.
Okay.
I probably will not be sitting in Jason's seat. They're probably going to set a camera and a microphone off to the side.
Yeah.
You're
not going to be at his desk. I had to tape a show in Nashville with him, and it was my show, and I was not
in his seat.
Yeah, I was
not
on the
in
side
his seat.
Yeah.
So we're trying to work all that stuff out. Isn't that right, Brandon?
We're working on it.
We're working on that. Yeah. So we'll have to tape earlier in the day, which they can do that because Allie Stuckey will not be in here taping. She'll be on maternity.
Oh, that's right.
So see,
I
don't know if I'm telling people's business. I shouldn't tell, but whatever.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'll be in Nashville. So you go to Universal Studios. I'll suffer in Nashville.
Okay.
With some elite musicians.
Oh no!
In the studio.
Poor thing. Being a rock star.
A-list
so
musicians
difficult.
and these multi-platinum songwriters, and then me.
Yeah.
But we have written some killer songs. I mean, just bangers, dude. And if you guys were pissed off at Jason Aldean last week, then you're really gonna love me.
I can't wait.
Just some Americana, baby. I'm excited. I don't know what I can say and can't say, but anyway. We were talking about vaccine schedules.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and get this show canceled, and maybe I won't be taping from anywhere. What were you saying about children's vaccines? You were telling me before we started taping.
So the little known fact, the CDC recommended childhood vaccine schedule. So the CDC guidelines that you go into your doctor's office, you go into your pediatrician, and they say, 3 months they're due for, and they list DTaP and, Hep B or whatever. They list all of them out. That schedule has actually never been tested. So, they're like, here's 8 vaccines this visit, and they've actually never tested these vaccines in conjunction with one another to make sure that there are no adverse reactions to having all of them at that particular visit. That's never been tested. Never been tested. And the vaccines that are on the childhood schedule that, maybe you say, well, they're tested alone. Well, those safety studies are done against a different vaccine usually. So it's still got some, aluminum in it, other things in it. The placebo, it's not a true placebo.
I got in trouble for the video I made a couple years ago, and I was wrong. I honestly, I used to believe that if you were going to send your kids to public school, just go by their rules and just get the vaccines and, just do it. Just do it. I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Many people are.
I just, again, I was ignorant of so much of how this stuff gets pushed out, right? Because you think, well, I was always choice, but I was like, okay, but you might want to keep your kids home from all this kind of stuff, which I am an advocate for homeschooling or charter schooling or whatever, but I was wrong, and I just had not studied certain things, and it's hard for me to say I was wrong because I never am.
Well,
I never am wrong.
But I think that going through COVID, there was I always said, I hope the silver lining of COVID is that people are awakened to the, medical industrial complex, basically. Like big pharma is not your friend.
No.
They're not out there to, sell you the solution. They're out there to make you sicker so you can become more dependent on the other things that they can sell you.
They don't want you dead.
Right.
Well, I don't know. The elites out there, I've always stuck to the theory that this whole depopulation thing is the elites just wanting their own private island, and it just happens to be the globe.
Yeah.
But they don't want, the medical industry doesn't want you dead. They want you sick.
Right.
They want you alive, but dependent on big pharma.
Right.
And you got to see that at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people, I'm sure like you, they trusted the experts, right? And they're like, well, my doctor would know this. Obviously, my doctor went to school for it. Well, the doctors don't spend a lot of time on things like that. They don't actually look at vaccines. They're just told by their pharmaceutical rep what they're supposed to say and how it works, and they just regurgitate it. Like they don't spend a lot of time researching this, looking into studies, looking at the other side of thing. They're just like they're given the government curriculum just like any other school, and they learn it and they master it, and then they become MDs.
Yeah. Scary. Scary. That's why they call it practicing medicine. And again, you can't convince me that they could cure cancer. They could cure cancer.
I believe they could
do all that stuff. Again,
Joe Biden said he was going to.
Again, he said it.
He hasn't.
Campaigned on it.
He did.
Because he knows they can.
Yeah.
And they said, no, Joe.
Yeah.
No, Joe. Ty and Charlene Bollinger, they just released this docuseries this week called Remedy. And again, Ty is one of the most banned people in America. He's actually on Biden's list of like top 12 people to never listen to because of what he says about cancer.
Right.
And you get on the phone with Charlene, which I've done, his wife, and I mean, she'll go on and on and on and on talking to you about cancers and tumors and how, their treatment of it makes you even sicker. And we know this is poisoning your body.
It's poison, yeah.
And they don't want you hearing that stuff. And as I alluded to on Tuesday's episode, RFK, in his testimony last week, he said, I'm being accused of malinformation. So I'm trying to hurt people is what they accuse me of.
It's not that it's not true.
Right.
They just don't want you to know it.
They don't want you to know it. So I could tell you if I'm diagnosed with cancer, I'm calling Ty Bollinger.
Yeah.
And being like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Because Big Pharma, what have they ever done?
Right.
What have they ever done? I mean, they put you on chemotherapy, and the chemo makes you sicker than anything and destroys your body, I mean, I've had friends, my parents' friends. I've had one particular case I'm thinking of right now. They sent him to North Carolina. He had cancer so bad. They sent him to North Carolina as a last-ditch effort. Sent him to die. And it was nothing short of divine miraculous. I mean, he was healed of cancer. He lived another, 50 years. And the worst thing he had was the effects of the treatment from the cancer. The cancer didn't kill him. Yeah. Ultimately, 50 years later, he died from the rest of his health problems were from the treatment of it that he lived with.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, you bring up a great point, which is, it may, in some cases, chemotherapy and all of that will actually, you become cancer free, but for how long? And also, what are the bad effects that it's having on your body in other ways that will manifest later on in life that you may or may not actually be able to tie to having that treatment.
Yeah,
so,
I was saying it the other morning to someone. I was like, are we putting any? I took some vitamin C gummies.
Yeah, those are not the best. No,
they're not. But I had them. They were sitting there, and that's what I had. And I said, okay, give me 2 of them gummies. And I was like, this does jack shit, right? Which I'm like, I don't know if anything I'm putting in there. I don't know if even pill form. I don't know if anything's doing anything.
Yeah, pill form is not great. Vitamin C, you got to get it's like water soluble, like a powder substance. I'll get you some.
Which, by the way, the supplements that we have through that place where we shop, top notch. You crunchy people out there, you know who you are. Y'all need to holler.
That's me.
They make all their own stuff. So, again, it's not being passed through the big pharma deal. You guys, you keep hearing about these brands that are selling out their customers and going woke. Americans are sick and tired of having leftist propaganda jammed into every single product they consume. Well, the mobile companies are no different. For years, they've been dumping millions of your dollars into liberal causes, and you just have to sit there and take it because you need your cell phone, and you probably thought there was no alternative. Well, there is, and You can make that switch today with Patriot Mobile, our good friends over there. They're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They offer dependable nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks, so you get the best possible service in your area minus the leftist propaganda. It's great. So when you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support free speech, religious freedom, and the sanctity of life, Second Amendment, your military, your veterans, your first responder heroes. Now, their 100% U.S.-based customer service team will make switching easy for you. You keep your phone, you keep your number. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Chad or call them at 878-PATRIOT. You get free activation today with offer code CHAD. I spell it Chad. And you got to ask about their coverage guarantee while you're there. Get the same dependable service and take a stand for your values. Make that switch. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad. And don't forget, mention my name. We'll be right back. F everybody. Oh, we're back. We're back. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do. We're blessed. We're blessed. Welcome, children, back to the gospel ministry of Reverend Chad Prather.
Hey, remember when Brandon almost got us canceled in the hot mic moment?
Which time? Oh, yeah.
But boy, we could have been saying something way different.
I'm watching the thing on, what was it, YouTube or whatever, and we had gone to break, and we were still just sitting there talking.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, God, what did we say? What did we say?
Yeah.
What did we say?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
it's fine.
Oh, when I got the text of that, I was like, oh, well, I'm fucked.
I'm shocked they didn't fire you, Brandon. Such low standards we have here.
That's
And
That's honestly a fireable offense.
It is.
Oh, I know. I'm very aware. Yeah, the first I saw that text and I was like, well, it's going to be a bad day.
Yeah, that was a fireable offense. Thankfully, nothing bad was said.
I blame Chris.
I blame Chris too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that was. I was like, whoa.
Oh my God! I cannot even imagine watching it live. It's just like, mama, cut the feed.
Because y'all have to understand, you guys understand that Sarah and I are absolute best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, we are closest thing to being married to each other without being married to each other. I mean, there's nothing that goes on in my life she doesn't know about.
So the things we could have been saying.
Yeah, I mean, if CJ gets mad at me, she calls Sarah. It's a bitch about me, you know. She wants Sarah to fix me.
Yeah.
I went through the whole stages. At first, I was like, I thought they meant I said something. I was like, ah, shit, what did I say into the mic? And then she's like, no, it's Sarah and Chad. I was like, oh, that's way worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could have been.
Yes.
Could have been, because we share a lot of life.
Yeah.
And, it could have been bad. But anyway.
Small miracles.
That's wild. That's wild stuff. Makes me want to do a sketch comedy thing, basically. Never mind. I don't want to give my idea away. Have you done Normal World with Landau and all them?
Yes.
I think I'm doing it next week.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I gave them shit because they had me on, and you know they have like all these funny people on, these comedians and stuff, and they're like, hey, my producer sends me a text. Normal World wants to know if you can come on their show this week to talk about human trafficking. I was like,
that's a blast.
Wow,
man.
cool. That sounds really fun.
Yeah,
that's gonna be great.
Guffaws included. Yeah.
But no, it was a good show. It was fun.
I'm looking forward to being on there with him. I've always respected Dave as a comedian, and man, I gotta say, this is a hard week. My friend Ron Sexton passed away last Saturday morning. Ron is a great comedian. A lot of people knew him as Donnie Baker on social media, and his sketches were incredible. He was my kind of humor just because his videos were so dang funny. And Ron was a super good dude, and he passed away Saturday morning unexpectedly. While he was on the road in Ohio doing shows. And I've talked with a lot of my comedian friends that, knew Ron, and we're, all connected. And it's like, that hit us hard. Yeah. A guy your age has a heart attack and, massive heart attack and passes. I mean, it's sad, leaves your family behind, the whole thing. It's an eye opener.
Yeah.
That's why you talk about the medical stuff. I just can't imagine people just hodgepodge randomly trusting the medical community more. So, my doctor, and I got a couple of people that help take care of me. I've got a nurse practitioner. I've got my doctor who's in Tampa, Florida, who I love that guy. I can text him anytime. And you know what? You guys can actually, Dr. Mike Ipock, he's got an incredible practice over there in the Wesley Chapel, Tampa area. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, listen, bro, I'll fly you to where I am. I'll fly to you. If I need to see you, if we can't handle it on the phone, whatever. But I know that he knows his stuff and he cares.
Yeah.
He cares about, I've dropped, 15, 20 pounds at this point since in the last, 3 months, 2 months, something like that.
You're doing great.
And I gained a little back on,
It was vacation. It's fine. You'll get it right off.
I don't know how. I think it was the sugary drinks.
Yes.
I think it could have been the sugar. Because I
yes.
never drink anything with calories or sugar in it when I'm home. But there,
You got to get you a pina. Was it a pina colada?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And rum runners and daiquiris.
Oh, all of them.
Oh, I had it all.
Mojitos.
I'm a sucker for a swim-up bar, man, I tell you.
Yeah, me too.
And I love sitting in other people's piss and drinking liquor, man. Sugary drinks.
I can't do the sugary drinks.
I can't do it much, but I did have some. And I think I gained a little bit of weight back. But, I feel good. I feel better than I've felt in years. And again, I got to give credit to where it's due. I mean, Mike took care
Sara
of me.
Gonzales. Oh.
Yeah, no.
I thought you were
We're
gonna say.
like married couple without any of the benefits that any of that
Right. Okay,
brings.
got
So
it.
you have done nothing for my natural wholeness.
Got it. Okay, got it.
You nothing.
But
You
I do
stress
have,
me the F out
Yeah, that's what I was
sometimes.
going to say. We do bring the negative effects because I'll be like trying to talk to him and he's in his phone and I'm like, oh, good. Just like a real husband, you're not listening to me.
Or you'll text me at 5 a.m. You're like, O, send, M, send, G, send. I'm like, what could possibly be wrong at 5:30 a.m. on a Wednesday? It's Sarah with something. And I'm like, who pissed Sarah off today? Inevitably, it's somebody. Did you see this story? This is wild. Pregnant boyfriend dead in alleged murder-suicide.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Now, it gets weird. So, man allegedly shot and killed his pregnant boyfriend and then himself in a murder-suicide. This is Florida, where you can't say gay. But apparently you can do some gay shit. But apparently this wasn't gay because this was a biological female who identified as a man. So she was 8 months pregnant.
Right.
And I guess this
Because,
guy
as we know,
was
only
pretending to be gay, even though she still had a vajayjay, which I don't know I don't know.
We need a flow chart.
I need a lot.
Every time we talk about a story like this, you need a flow chart. I'm convinced.
Facebook account believed to have been this person's indicates that she preferred both he, him, and they, them. I texted you the other day. I said, I think at this stage in the game, we're just summoning demons. The whole pronoun thing, I think it's just summoning demons. Yeah. People keep saying I'm full of hate. And I don't hate you. I'm just calling out the ignorance, the absolute stupidity of this thing. But like you sent me a video of this woman that identifies as a man with so many piercings in her face that are skin whistles when the wind blows. Yeah. The orange hair. And can I just say, conservative women are just beautiful. Progressive Riri, they're wicked. Yeah. They're just nasty. They're not pretty.
Evil is not good for your skin.
It's not as bad for your overall appearance, And anyway, she's trying to get this kid. Said, are you a boy or a girl? Are you a boy or a girl? Are you both? And the kid goes, both. And she goes, oh, see.
Hold on. You're saying kid. I think it needs to be emphasized.
It's a
this
baby.
is a baby.
It's a baby. Like a toddler.
Maybe a young toddler.
Yeah, like just learning words.
Yes, correct. Babbling.
Yeah. And she's like repeating mama, like repeating what you say.
Right.
And she's like, are you a boy or a girl? Are you a boy or a girl? And finally he's like, are you both? Both. She's both.
Right. Because she says, are you a girl? Yeah. Are you a boy? Yeah. Oh, are you both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. You can be both.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. No, you cannot. I'm so tired of this.
Mazel tov. It's a both. I mean, do they have cigars for that?
Yeah.
What color ribbon are they wrapping around when you come home and the ribbons are on the tree? How do you have a gender reveal party for that? What color comes out of a both balloon? You just whack it and a pile of shit falls out.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously though. You're summoning demons at this point.
It really makes me want like a mental competency test before people are allowed to procreate.
Yeah. Well, we can dream. We can dream. No, Anyway, yeah, okay. I don't know. I like this kind of whole thing. You can call it out. You can talk about it. We can ignore it. It's just gonna get worse because again, they're tolerating this nonsense instead of saying, "Listen, guys, there's some mental illness going on here, and you're trying to placate your own mental illness by involving your children."
Yes.
And these poor kids just don't have a chance. Right. I mean, that's child abuse.
100% child abuse.
That's when the authorities should be stepping in and being like, "Hey, we need to protect this kid here."
If you think that you can't change your gender, but if you are somehow under the impression that a toddler has the mental capacity to understand gender,
especially the way you guys are defining it,
right,
as some social construct,
right, you have absolutely no business raising a child.
Yeah, and here's the thing: at bare minimum, why are you on social media having this kind of conversation with your child? Because you're seeking attention for yourself. The child doesn't have a social media account. The child didn't ask to be put on there. You know, I've always protected my kids. I wouldn't even be Facebook friends with my kids until they became adults. Yeah. And because I wanted to protect them. I didn't put pictures of my kids. People are like, "Oh, these kids." I still have people who think that Jade and I had kids together. We never had kids together. Right. My kids were with my first wife. And they're grown now. And it's like, I've done everything I can to protect my children. Some of my kids actually use a different last name on social media because they're protecting themselves. Yeah. They don't want any of that stuff going on. So I respect that. But you're going to bring your baby on there? That in and of itself is, I don't care who you are. Yeah, that's weird.
It's very weird.
It's weird. Yeah. You know?
Anything for clicks and views. Anything for clicks and views these days.
Clicks and views, man. Clicks and views. I'm going to get naked online.
That'll be some clicks.
I put it on Facebook last week. I said, I'm gonna start an older fans account. Not only fans, older fans. And every day I'm going to post something else that's hurting on my body. You know? Yeah. And just start talking about my ailments. Speaking of that, and the supplements and all the things you can do, you hear me talking all the time about liver health formula. That is a cool all-natural supplement. I do take it every day. It's a great way to rejuvenate your liver. It reignites your metabolism. It burns fat. It will boost your energy, fights a fatty liver. That affects 100 million Americans right now. And the folks who make that supplement, they got a cool little short presentation, a little video that's got the 4 warning signs of a damaged or fatty liver. And some of those are absolutely scary. You can watch the free presentation and learn more about your liver health right now. This is something a lot of people don't think about, but you should be thinking about it. Go over to checkyourliver.com/Chad. That's checkyourliver.com/Chad. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Sarah, did you keep up in any at all with that story of the lady that faked her kidnapping in Alabama?
Yes. I'm fascinated
with
this story.
You love this stuff.
I do.
I hear about it. I don't pay attention to it. And then I read the story once it's all said and done. So she basically pulled like a Jussie, right?
Yes.
A Smollett?
Yes.
So she calls 911, says she sees a kid on the side of the road in diapers. The police get there, and she's nowhere to be found. Her car's there, and her wig and whatever's in the back seat.
Her cell phone, I believe.
Yeah. And she's just gone. And then a couple of days later, she shows up at her parents' house, says that she was being held by somebody and had to fight her way out.
Yes. A white man with orange hair.
What?
That's what they said. A white man with orange hair.
Okay.
Held her against her will.
All right.
But she made it, Chad. She made it. She made it back home.
And then her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, he goes online. He's like, she is now my ex, because apparently it was a whole.
Yes.
Because she quit. They take her to the police department, and then she's being interviewed by the police, and then she becomes uncooperative.
They wouldn't even take her in. The family said, well, she needs some time. She's just been through a traumatic event. She doesn't want to answer any questions right now. And the police said, okay, but we have no evidence that there was a toddler lost on the highway. Like, we have no evidence that any of this happened. Oh, by the way, her search history on her phone right before she disappeared was very strange. So we really need to talk to her. And so then it started becoming apparent that...
yeah, because she'd looked up like the Liam Neeson movie Taken and like how to...
Yeah. And she said, do you have to pay money for an Amber Alert? which is also very stupid because I believe Amber Alerts are only for children, and she was like an adult. So I don't think an Amber Alert would have even been.
So we're dealing with a mentally ill person here. One would think.
I would say I wouldn't be too quick to call her mentally ill in the grand scheme of things. I think we're dealing with someone who could also just be a giant narcissist and wanted the attention.
Isn't there a better way to get it?
Yes.
I mean...
Yes, but they could be a stupid narcissist.
Yeah.
Clearly you are if you're going to search for that type of thing and then leave your phone in the car for the police to find.
Yeah.
And think that they won't go through your search history where you've just looked up how to disappear yourself to get attention.
Like Party Foul Steve is the biggest narcissist I've probably ever known. But he's at least street smart. Like he could pull off his own kidnapping.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been around a narcissist who also was very dumb. So it happens.
I've been around a couple.
Like I've been very, very closely linked to one in my past.
I've been around a couple myself. Yeah. And people who just can't get out of their own damn way. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Think very highly of themselves and shouldn't because they're very dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but... There was like $63,000 of donations to Crime Stoppers.
What?
That Crime Stoppers initially said people would be getting refunded and then came out and said, actually, never mind.
I'm starting to question this whole Crime Stoppers organization.
Yeah.
My buddy sent me a thing the other day. There was this couple, I think in Dallas, this black couple. He said, will you please share this story? And normally when people ask me to share something, it doesn't get the results you think it's going to get.
Yep.
Because that's just not how social media, hey, this needs to be on a bigger platform. Yeah, well, I can share this story, but just trust me, it's going to get like 63 likes.
Yeah.
And you think it's going to get thousands of, it's not.
It's not.
Because that's just not how it works. But apparently Crime Stoppers, this couple calls in about this deal, and then they didn't give them the reward money on the thing. And I don't want to go look up the story, but I'm like, I'm starting to see some things with Crime Stoppers that I'm like,
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. But I did share it. Because he's a friend and he's a buddy. And I was like, it sounds like a douchebag thing for me to say no.
Right.
Like I'm being mean. What I'm trying to tell you is it won't do what you think it's gonna do.
Right.
I have people all the time who's like, hey, Chad, we really need you to get this word out. Yeah, well, it just doesn't work like that.
No.
Doesn't work like that. There's a way to do social media, and if you knew how to do it, you would have a bigger following.
And you could get the message out yourself. That's how that works.
And it's like, just trust me when I tell you it's not going to work. Not going to work.
So do you think that Carlee Russell should have charges?
Yeah.
I think they should throw the book at her.
I mean, bare minimum, it's something like that. It's like Smollett. I mean, you wasted taxpayer money, resources. You took up the time for police. You took their time away.
I want to know what other emergencies occurred while police were busy looking for her, searching for her that they couldn't get to.
Yeah. So that's funny. Like, you're all about this true crime crap. And like, you knew her name.
Yes.
I'm sitting there holding the article. I didn't know her name.
She's a nursing student in Alabama.
I've been closely related to one of those too. Nurse.
Yeah.
Students too.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Not great. I don't want to talk about that. Did you know that Donald Trump's White House chef was black?
No.
He was.
I didn't know that.
He was. I mean, you know.
The more you know.
The more you know. I mean, I'm just talking about.
Does it matter?
No, not to me. But again, to everybody that says Donald Trump is a racist.
Oh, that's because he's the help.
Okay. He was a very large black man in terms of like very muscular, very.
So he could double as Secret Service
big
if necessary.
Man. In news that you can use and then lose, Dylan Mulvaney is trying to get some speaking gigs at colleges and universities. No.
Oh, God. What happened to his face? Where are his eyebrows?
When did that picture come out? That's
some black swan looking shit.
Really becoming an automaton, huh? The guy really struggles, which, I mean, his parents are thrilled to know that he's now interested in women a little bit.
Yes,
anyway,
which he says is
the guy really
him
struggles
being a
with the 5 o'clock shadow. Really struggles with the 5 o'clock shadow. You're going to see Dylan in a few years, maybe not even that long, down and out, full beard. Watch.
I don't say this jokingly, if he makes it that long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad. I've said over and over again, there's a part of me that wants to feel sorry for this guy, but I don't, because he's brought it on himself, and he really pushed it in everybody's face in such a way. It's like, yeah, you played with fire, buddy.
Right.
And but now he's wanting to come talk to your kids. So that is what you're paying tuition for, is so your kids can go to colleges and get lectured by a very confused man.
Great. Why do people send their kids to college anymore?
I don't know. I think less are. They're all becoming gay when they go there, according to the.
They are.
The polls. God, there's just nothing I want to talk about. Can we just end the show early?
Well, that's it for us, guys.
That's going to do it. We got 2 segments left, but
Can you just replay Chad's intro music? Just play it on loop.
Put me on loop.
Yeah.
Put me on loop. An Australia intelligence agency is funding research attempting to merge artificial intelligence with human brain cells. Things to look forward to, man. They're merging human brain cells with artificial intelligence. They've gotten a $600,000 grant from Defense and the Office of National Intelligence. That's Australia's national intelligence. I wasn't down with they were wanting to put that chip in your brain, like Elon Musk, and then they said, well, if you push a button, you could trigger orgasm, and now I'm listening. I'm listening.
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
They said you could have 60,000 orgasms a day.
How could you work?
Talk about dehydrated.
What? Yeah, why would you want that?
Shriveled up little raisins. You're like,
I can squeeze one more out.
I'm like, oh, God, it's midnight. I think I got time for one more. I just push that button. Be at the gas station spraying gas all over everything. I wouldn't be able to do anything, man. I'd drive. You know how many cars I'd wreck?
All of them?
Drive off the road.
All of them?
Trying to have a call. Somebody calls in. You hit the wrong button instead of answer. You're just like, ah!
That's actually not a bad skit idea.
No, I know.
Causing a car crash because you meant to answer your call, but you hit the orgasm button.
That's I get so frustrated sometimes with Blaze because on Facebook they share the hell out of these Blaze news stories, and it's like, oh, come on, can we do something else on the Facebook page? I get it. Maybe put some of my content on there sometime. No. But they kept sharing this thing where the guy ran into the FedEx truck while he was getting a blowjob from his girlfriend. She's full on oral, and he runs into the FedEx truck and wrecks.
No.
And yeah, that's that's a gripping story.
Can we teach that in schools and sex ed? The dangers of roadhead.
They should teach it. They should teach it. Get microchipped. Just get microchipped, and you can just hit a button. It's like my buddy Dustin Sims says, God gave us that button, but fortunately it's 4 inches up your ass. Now he put it where we can't reach it, because if it was in the palm of your hand, we'd never get anything done. All right, guys, you got to clean your guns, and some of you need to get those old things out and get to work on them. I want you to start using my buddies over at Barrel Buddy. Barrel Buddy's got a pretty cool product here. It's a cool solution. It's a safe solution. It's an effective solution. What it does is, as you can see on the video there, it compresses to fill the interior of the gun's barrel. It will clean the rifling grooves. They got sizes for any caliber firearm you have, and it's composed of these polymers that don't leave behind those residual particles like the patches do, so it makes it safer. Now it'll scrub, it'll collect particulates, it'll absorb the remaining residue. You can even lubricate your firearm while you're cleaning it, so it's a pretty good little one-step solution. So it's an important part of being a responsible gun owner, cleaning your guns, and Barrel Buddy's a new concept. It's a safer concept, and it's a better way to take care of your firearm, so I want you to get some. I guarantee you'll love them, so go over to barrelbuddy.com. That's barrelbuddy.com. We'll be right back. Is Fox News still on? They still have a network?
For now.
Yeah, because those whistleblowers came out, last week, and they were talking about how they were supporting all the far left charities. Monday we talked about how they were supporting Satan, but their charitable donations crazy. I cut all that crap out. Fox News, all of it.
I was a subscriber to Fox Nation,
Yeah.
which, of course,
I never did that.
Our CEO, Tyler Carden, gave me a hard time about. But I felt like I had a good reason. A lot of my friends were on, Alex was on Tucker Carlson behind the paywall. Savannah Hernandez was on Tucker behind the paywall. Like, I had friends that were reoccurring guests on his show. So we got it to watch them. And then it was $5 a month, so we never canceled it. But as soon as Tucker left, I went on and...
Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't want to stick around for Tommy?
Who?
I figured I'd call Tommy while I'm in Nashville at the end of August. Say, Tommy, you want me to come on the show? You want me to come on the show, girl?
I never see her anymore.
Not a lot. I see her. But not a lot. Yeah. Anyway.
Boy, that's a blast from the past.
It is a blast from the past. Yeah, so that's all we got.
Well, don't know where to go with that.
No, I'm serious. I there's so much on my mind right now as I'm looking. What you said earlier about the vaccines, it just disturbs me. There's so many things I want to say. I'm trying to distract myself with just these odds and ends stories. But this thing, they are wrecking a generation of humanity. Mm-hmm. They are doing it. Congress is useless. When a person has one of these heart attacks or these cardiac events or whatever, they should immediately investigate that. Mm-hmm. Were they vaccinated? How many times were they boosted? What's the record show? Let's pull a toxicology report. Let's look at all of these things. Let's see what the effects were there blood clots, all these things. They need to bring, Fauci needs to be, Nuremberged.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes.
And they need to be honest with the American people. Congress is useless in regards to that. If Congress was worth a damn, you know what they need to be doing? They need to be investigating these political witch hunts that are coming against Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. How much of that stuff is just politically motivated in a banana republic by, your opposition? Every single bit of it. Mm-hmm. Every single bit of it. This stuff Donald Trump's been some Riri troll kept posting a meme on of a side by side of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Which one hasn't been indicted? Yeah, no shit. That's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem.
Thank you for proving our point that there's a two-tiered criminal justice system.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point. That's kind of the whole point of the deep state is that they protect their own and then try to send their political opposition to prison forever. That's kind of the point we're making.
And I said on Monday's episode, I should have won an award for my expose on the cocaine at the White House. Every now and then a story comes along and I just know what's up. Mm-hmm. And so, this was some Woodward and Bernstein shit. I was basically deep throat. Deep snort. I was deep snort. And I was the subject matter. I was the SME. I was the subject matter expert.
You were the SME.
And they just buried it. The sons of bitches just buried it. And do you think anybody? And then a week later, Hunter Biden's at his lawyer's apartment, and he's got the bong out on the patio. And I'm like, everywhere this guy goes, there's drugs.
Yeah.
And they're just going to bury this stuff. You think they're going to do anything with Hunter Biden and the laptop from hell? No. You think they're going to? Joe Biden lied in 2019, not only about curing cancer, but about never talking to his business associates of his sons. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And nobody denies it. He did. He did.
Well, he denies it, but nobody else does.
You can't tell me that they put Hunter Biden on Air Force Two, flies his ass to China, and somewhere on that 16-hour flight, they didn't have a little chatty chat.
Which is why it was a very dumb thing for Joe Biden to say in the first place.
Yes.
It's not a reasonable assumption. It's not a reasonable thing to put out there that you spend all this time with your son. He's your best friend. He's so great, the smartest guy you know. And yet you spend all this time together and you literally never talk about business.
Yeah.
He would have been better off just being like, he's my son. So I hear what's going on, but nothing too detailed. That would have been a much easier answer.
I don't get involved.
Right.
You got Hunter, who's literally on video on his laptop going, my father does whatever I tell him to do. Mm-hmm. If there's a policy I want, I just tell him what to do. Mm-hmm. You think those people are ever going to see any form of justice? No.
Earlier this week, Kevin McCarthy's talking about, there might be an impeachment inquiry. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, bring it on. Yeah. This Congress is useless. Mm-hmm. What you doing this weekend? Anything?
Nope.
All right.
Just, well, I can tell you in break. It's a secret.
Damn,
Yeah,
girl.
it's a
Let's
secret.
go to that break. What's up?
It's a secret.
Oh. You think it's going to cause any joint pain? Because I got Relief Factor.
I love Relief Factor.
Yeah.
Relief Factor has saved my butt so many times. Well, not my butt, my back.
Your back.
Yeah.
I like Relief Factor. It works for me. I've got 2 bags of it that I need to send to my mother. She keeps saying, Chad, send it. And I'm like, Mom, I just hate going to the post office.
I do too.
And I got to get a bag and I got to put the whole thing in there anyway.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, I do believe in Relief Factor and I do take it. And Sarah has too. She's got a great testimony of how it's helped her with her back. And if you're dealing with the pain in your joints or wherever, stuff that comes from inflammation, and the older we get, we've got it. Don't just complain about it and talk about the prescriptions you're on and going back to the doctor. Give Relief Factor a try. I promise you it's a cheaper alternative and probably a better alternative than anything else you're doing. It'll reduce the pain. It does in most people. 70% of the people who get it keep on ordering it because they found out that it works. It may change your life. It's developed by doctors, but it's not a drug, and it'll reduce the inflammation in your body. So get the quick start, the trial pack. There's $19.95. You got that money probably in the sofa cushions, okay? Go to relieffactor.com. Give them a call if you want to talk to them. 800, the number 4 relief. But give them a shot. Relieffactor.com. We'll be right back. All right, go to watchchad.com. That's where all the fun stuff is. Sarah, you laughing?
Yes.
We get all kind of stuff sent to us.
Hit me like that with something right before we go.
Well, I did a reel earlier this week, and I get sent all kind of stuff. I think it's the Chad's Pads deal that did it. People send me like adult toys and stuff, and I love the hum.
Oh, here we go.
I love the microphone hum right there. But anyway, they sent one of those things that you stick in your panties, and then it's got a remote control. Well, the thing is it looks like about the size of a mouse, and it's got this long thing on the end of it. And I think that's so you can pull it out when you're done with it, but you hit it with a remote control. So I was at the hotel the other day, and I just videotaped that thing. I just put it on the desk, and it just ran all over the place. And people were like, that ain't no mouse. No, it's a gerbil. But it makes for good social media content. I don't know if I'm going to heaven or hell at this point. I really don't. I love the Lord, but I'm not sure He's happy with me sometimes. Lord, please forgive my sense of humor. It's pretty wild.
It is.
It's my brain. If y'all really knew where my brain went on things. Oh, and how much I reel in, like when I'm on stage, and just like the stuff I just keep to myself. One of these days, it's all going to come out.
Oh boy.
One of these days, it's really all going to come out,
boy.
and that's like that's going to be that. I probably should have been doing it for the last 10 years. It probably would have made my career bigger, but whatever.
I don't know.
I have a conscience.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But anyway. All right.
Or
subscribe.
just a big mouth.
Yeah. Hey, American Beauty by Sarah. There's no H in that. AmericanBeautyBySarah.com. RealWomen'sClub.com. WatchChad.com. Don't forget to subscribe. BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Have a great weekend. Larry Taunton's with me on Overtime. Don't miss it. Love you. God bless you. Bye.